Welcome back, fellow knights, to another glorious siege battle. My name is Apollo, and this, of course, is Thrones of Britannia. So you know how I said in yesterday's video that was probably one of the best battles, if not the best battle of 2018? Well, I've got another great battle. I don't know if this is like a Thrones of Britannia thing where the siege battles on this game are epic, or we just got lucky and had two amazing siege battles in a row. But this battle is almost as good, if not as good, as yesterday's battle. So you guys are going to enjoy this because I had a lot of fun playing this one, and I'm really excited to look over the battle again and show you what happened here. So real quick before we dive in, I do want to show off what's going on here. We have some cav. This is actually my cav. We have 3 defenders. I am playing as Mercia, and my 2 other allies are playing as Mercia. So we have Mr. Brunswick and Nico, who's defending mostly this side. Brunswick main force over here. I'm more of a reserve force. I'm defending the beaches because they do have ships, and I'll send my troops to whoever needs forces because nobody's really attacking this front, or are they? So yeah, actually, I kind of had a feeling that there's going to be enemy forces in the trees here because they left siege equipment. That's a go-to strategy I've seen a lot recently, where you leave siege equipment but you hide your troops to make it seem like you just kind of abandoned them. But no, they've got troops hiding in the trees, and I was really just scouting over here to see if you know, they had reserve forces that they were going to send later on, but now I know they are going to attack from this direction. I'm going to quickly get my horses out of there because they've done their scouting for today, and I'm going to leave my 3 swordsmen here ready to defend, watching out for that. So let's go back over here. The attackers are they're all 3 armies of Northumbria, which is more Viking. Definitely has a lot of Viking culture mixed in with this faction, with Danelaw and whatnot. I believe they were conquered by the Vikings, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not, because then I sound like an idiot. But yeah, they are pushing forward with the siege towers. And another thing I must mention about this: before this battle started, they had almost like 80% of their siege towers over here. Right at the last second, they moved all of their siege towers and forces over to this side. Now, that's a pretty cheesy strategy there. I don't recommend you do it. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of scummy, but it's not a huge deal. I thought it was kind of fun because it kind of got me off guard and I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, they moved all of their forces to this side, you know, as soon as the game started. It wasn't a big deal because we were able to shift over a lot of units to that side quickly. If it was like a ginormous settlement and they moved it all the way to the other side of the ginormous settlement, then it would be a pain. But this isn't too bad. So yeah. They've got their ships here. We all have like dedicated 1 or 2 units to defend the beaches here. Again, since I'm the reserve force, I have 2 units defending the beaches. We've got them spread out around the beach line so we can act quickly no matter where they hit us. So we're kind of waiting because it's tough to really determine. We didn't want to put all our units here and then they go over here because ships move pretty quickly in this game, and your units, they're going to have a hard time catching up. So let's do normal speed and start to dive into this battle. It's already begun here with some artillery bombardment. They're using their catapults to try to bring down some of these walls, already at 60%, so he's just trying to open up as many breach points as possible. And that's why Nico has most of his forces in the back here far away, because he's worried about the artillery firing at his troops. And this is all pretty open, so it would be a pretty easy spot for artillery to kill his men. But now that he's noticed that the siege towers are being pushed up to the walls, he's ready to move up his forces. So what has he got here? He's going with the Axemen. So the Axemen, I personally wouldn't have sent them up first just because you probably want more of a defensive unit holding the front line. But if he can land a good charge here and get that charge bonus that long Axemen have, oh god, that artillery. Yeah, artillery hit really hard, but it doesn't look like he's gonna get that charge bonus because he is moving in very closely to the enemy. But at least he has some troops here ready to hold against the enemy forces. And you can see he's pushing really hard on this flank. He's got some men. He's got defensive men over in the gate house, I guess you could say. But he's definitely got to send up more troops, which he is right now. He's got some Earls, Thanes pushing up, which will do a great job of holding this flank here. But he's got to get there quickly before they outmaneuver his troops. And look at the artillery. Oh, trying to go for his forces there. Let's go over to this other side where Mr. Brunswick is now taking on some forces. Unfortunately, Thrones of Britannia is really glitchy, and sometimes when you tell them to attack forces, they do this near the wall, where it looks like they're trying to leave the settlement and attack the forces from down here. To avoid this, just don't tell your men to attack. Hold formation until most of the units are up here, then attack them. So he really had to reshift his troops there, which is kind of frustrating, but Thrones of Britannia is a little buggy. Also, we got my archers up here. Again, I am the support army in this situation. I get to sit back and watch where people need support and support them. So I've got my archers in this like final stand area, which is the town center. This is what we have to defend to the last. So I've just got them up here because they've got a perfect angle. Excuse me, that voice crack there. Perfect angle to the enemy to be able to fire at their backs, and it seems like it's working pretty well. Let's go look around over here. They have not moved up their army. And at this point is when we notice that, oh, there's all the siege towers, because originally they were hidden in the trees. And we're like, okay, well, this is a problem. And I thought, again, remember, guys, at the beginning of this battle, they had most of their siege towers over here. I have most of my army near Brunswick to support him with that. Well, now that they shift them right at the last second, I'm going to have to quickly shift over my troops, which I'm moving right now, to support Nico, because he's actually the one getting attacked by a ton of forces. And Nico's now committing more and more troops to the front line here. Artillery I mean, it got a couple kills, but it could have been a lot worse. Cav was thinking about doing some charging around. That could have been nasty if they got our archers off guard there. But he's going to retreat them because of Nico sending in more reinforcements. And here they go. Woo! That artillery, man. Oh, no! That was a good hit. That was a really good hit. Oh, that was so cool. Over this, like, hill, you see, like, 3 or 4 men, and then you see the rest of the troops appear. That was really cool. Now the archers are firing, and you can see that this is really, really tough. Yeah, you know, Nico is a newer player. I really should stop saying that as much, because he's gotten a lot better, and he's gotten some good experience in the game. But I feel like sometimes he has some of the most challenging flanks to defend here. But he's doing great. He's doing great so far. He's just trying to contain the enemy. Let's go ahead and turn on the HUD so you can see exactly what's happening here. Yeah, they're going to be pushing on these flanks. This is really bad now. Nico has to peel one of his units over here to try to defend against these siege towers. Now, thankfully, my troops are nearby. They're close. They're making it. They've had a long distance, but they're finally going to make it and support Nico. Now, these are armored swords, or spearmen, I should say. So, they're not going to do well against enemy swordsmen. Spears obviously lose the swords, but it's something. It's something to hold them back for as long as possible. Let's go ahead and do some slow motion here. Nico is having a tough time containing the enemy. You can see he's outnumbered here. He's got 1 unit fighting these Danelaw mailed swordsmen. Over here, he's got the same unit, the mailed swordsmen, but they're free to flank. Now, I'm trying to harass them with my cav. I got some Thane horsemen. This is the same cav that was scouting the enemy. I'm really just trying to charge them in the rear and try to kill as many as possible, because that's kind of what we have to do at this point. Because we're kind of outnumbered, we have to use our special units like archers and cav to run these guys down. Nico does have some of these soldiers who broke and are returning, which is great because they can help support. And look at the archer fire. Excellent use of the archers. Excellent use. So they're going to fire at the backs of these guys. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. So, yeah, we're holding over here. Brunswick is holding especially well over here. No really openings for the enemy. He's got them pinned, and he's giving them hell for this settlement. He's giving them hell. So, nice little cinematic view here. The archer fire right over the heads of the enemy, going after the troops in shield wall, which I love that shield wall. It looks so cool in this game. Back over here, they have not moved up the siege towers or any of the troops, so that's fine. Just resting my troops in reserve. The ships have moved a little closer, but they're not fully committing. And we kind of knew that they were gonna... There's my cycle charge with the cav, and it breaks one of the enemy troops, which is really good. I pretty much lose my cav, though, because of the archer fire. But yeah, we kind of knew that they were going to hold back their ships until later. I think they were waiting for us to either collapse on a side of the settlement and then charge in to really like cause some fear in our ranks, or they were going to wait until all of our forces were committed to this fight and then send up the troops on the ships, and that's just going to cause a huge like flank. So I always kind of knew that they were going to be coming from the ships late. So I always had that in the back of my mind to make sure I had some reserves for that, to make sure I had, you know, I got ready for those ships. Love watching the animations here of them fighting. Very cool. So yeah, it's a really tough fight here. My spears are now in position. Again, guys, they're spears. They're not going to do amazingly well, but it does hold them back for a little bit longer. I've now dedicated my archers over to this side. You can see I'm running them over because Mr. Brunswick doesn't really need my help right now. He's got this under control, he's got this under control, and he's holding this flank very, very well. Now, the enemy archers are giving him hell right now. He's got some Danelaw mailed archers. So heavily armored archers, tier 3, they're very good. But yeah, overall, Brunswick is holding this very well. Very well. So he doesn't need my archers, and that's why I'm now moving over my archers to deal with Nico's side, kind of support in that front. There we go. Now, they're not getting a ton of kills because they are shooting at these swordsmen head on. Most of the arrows are being blocked with their shields. But look at this scene right here. This is so cool. I mean, so many troops fighting. You got thousands of arrows, it feels like. Hundreds, I should say. Flying overhead and just trying to weaken our defenses. But yeah, things are getting kind of tricky here. Very kind of tricky. A lot of troops are starting to waver. You can see that these troops here, got some troops, Nico's Earl of Thanes, who've been fighting a very long time, are starting to lose heart and starting to waver. Back over here as well, Earl of Thanes, I mean, they're just getting hit hard with arrows, and oh, he's going to show his back to the enemy a little bit here, but that's okay. He's going to turn quickly and take on these Huskarls. Ooh, the Huskarls are going to be tough to fight. Very, very tough. The ships still have not moved up forward. Still have not moved forward. Okay, so this is really important. Let's do some slow motion again. At this point, I noticed that, you know what? I need more men over on this front. By the way, look at the balance of power. All right, it's not looking great. It was never looking good at this battle. I realized that Nico needs more men. He needs more men. Again, he is technically facing an army and a quarter or army and a half. So he's really feeling the wrath of the enemy here. So I'm going to start peeling units wherever I have reserves, but you know, I can't dedicate too many swordsmen from here because there is a fairly large force waiting in the trees, so I need at least 2 men for now, and I even have some archers over here waiting. So I could slowly peel these troops away from this fight to help over here, but I don't really want to. But yeah, the unit that was, remember I had 3 swordsmen here? Well, now that 1 unit's kind of crossing the beach right now. He's near the beach. So that looks so cool with the enemy ships in the background. That looks amazing. But yeah, they're going to try to quickly get over to that other side. So let's see how this is going. Nice breaking here. Very nice breaking of the enemy, of the attackers, Northumbria. But we got to keep it up. Archer fire, again. Well, archer fire is more hopefully causing fear in their ranks than rather killing them. Now, I would like them to die. You know, I'd like for my archers to kill them. But it's just not going to happen. But what I'm trying to say here is I feel like I'm not wasting ammo because I am causing fear in their ranks as they fight us here. Oh, even some archers charging in. These are my archers who used up all their ammo. So I'm exhausting my ammo pretty quickly, you know, very early in this battle. Here we go. Some Thanes holding this position. Got to hold this breach point. I mean, this is really bad. Look at this. We have some Thanes here. They've gotten 90 kills so far, but they have 3 chevrons, but they're already wavering, and this is the only thing protecting this big gap here against Cav and everything. Now, if we look at some of the kills on my side, 58 with these archers, spears 14. These other spears 35. Spears are garbage, especially if I use them kind of aggressively here, which is no good. But yeah, they're wavering. Or no, they're not wavering, but they are losing this fight. And Nico is wavering elsewhere. This is not looking good. We don't have any more reserves. We don't have any more infantry. And if one flank breaks here, the other flank is going to be exposed to, well, flanks by the enemy. If we look at some of Brunswick's kills, he's got his Thanes. They got 8 kills, so they only just started fighting. The troops over here, I bet they have a lot more. 62. The other one has 119 fighting in this breach point. He's been giving these guys hell. 120 now. Woo! Yeah, he's getting some nice kills over here. Really need to try to do that more often. Look at the kills of these units. But finally, the enemy has moved up some Fjord Spearmen. So they're going to push them up and most likely try to get the gate down. But yeah, that's all right. I'm not too afraid of them, so that's fine. So I'm still keeping my troops in reserve there. We're going to go back to normal speed. And at this point, we're like, okay, we need to fall back. We can't hold it. We just don't have the manpower to hold this flank anymore. And the frustrating thing is Brunswick didn't want us to fall back. Of course, he said, you know, if you have to, you have to. But he's doing so well over here, that's not what he wants to. He doesn't want to hear that, because that means he's got to give up this spot. He's got to give up this front if we fall back, because his back will be exposed to the enemy, because they can easily just run around this way and get behind him. So if we fall back, we all have to fall back, even though he is winning this fight. But it's a team effort, and we kind of have to, you know, do this together. Now this is where we give the order to fall back, and this is when chaos is unleashed on our army. Very wise move from the attackers here, using some horsemen, now going after the archers that are very important in a siege defense and running them down. We did not see, this was a very sloppy retreat because we were not, it was kind of last minute when we decided to fall back, and because of that we didn't have a proper retreating, like, you know, process. It was just kind of like, okay, retreat, fall back, just go, just run, hurry. Oh my god, there's Cav, he's running down my archers. It's not looking good. But yeah, we're falling back, and we're just, at this point, we just got to try to save as many as possible, and it looks like we're only gonna save mostly archers. I have my Earl Thanes, which was, this unit was all the way over here earlier, so they're tired, but I'm running them back as well. And at the same time, actually, okay, never mind. I thought the ships were going in. But yeah, we're falling back, and we're preparing for the final stand, which is this really cool platform, this like ground tier, second tier area. So it looks pretty cool. But yeah, Brunswick is now falling back his forces as well. As much as it pains him to see that, he's got to do it. This has got to be a team effort. His troops over here, 66, 125 kills. They're holding, man. They are holding. Back over here, I'm also now falling back the second unit that was holding on this front, along with my archers, who are falling back as well. So I realized that I've got to put some kind of defense here against the enemy, or they're just going to rush through here and ruin Brunswick's forces, because they can easily run through this gate and then get behind Brunswick and not let them retreat. So we have to really just leave someone behind here to hold them back. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough being the soldiers that are left behind. That's how it is. And finally, now that they see our retreat, this is when they move in the ships. Now again, let's do some slow motion here. This was perfect, perfectly well timed by the attackers. They waited at the perfect opportunity to move in the ships, and this is going to cause even more chaos. I mean, this battle was a struggle from start to finish. There was no moment in the battle when you get that sense of like, okay, things are under control again. That doesn't happen in this fight from start to finish. And yeah, we're really desperate for that feeling of just like, okay, we got it under control, thank God. Every time it was like, okay, crap, we're running out of troops over here. Oh, we have to fall back. Okay, crap, now they're sending in their ships. We got to deal with that. Okay, crap, they're sending over units over here. It's just a very chaotic, just constant looking around the battlefield and making sure we're doing everything right. So there goes his spears charging into the gate. And I've got some archers here, kind of. They were going to support Brunswick, but I didn't really see an opportunity to use them there. And here we go. The first couple ships, and now we're quickly shifting our units over to this beach. Now, this is really risky. But the good news, you know what, I'm just going to pause it because this is really huge here. The good news is that this point right here is pretty narrow. So we can actually, and I was so happy to see them land right here because we can actually pile up our troops here, possibly defeat the naval force, and then be able to have enough time to retreat up this way. So that's our strategy going into this one. Now, does it pay off? You're going to find out. Let's see if this strategy pays off. But yeah, there they come. Look at it. They're attacking on every single part of this weird circle port area. But we got our troops ready. We've got our troops ready. Look at that. Look at that. That is a cool scene right there. Very cool. There we go. We're already facing the troops, and look at them just, oh my God, they just appeared on the beaches. So there they go. They're charging in. Holding over here as well. Brunswick moving around some of his forces to flank these troops. We can overwhelm them. These are shield biters, though. These guys are like almost berserkers. Like they're almost as good as berserkers. It's like berserkers in training. There we go. More and more forces coming around. I'm now shifting some of my Earl Thanes over to this side because I noticed he dropped even more forces over here. And we outnumber them on the beach, but we would love to have a lot of these, you know, the infantry troops ready to defend this inner part of the settlement. And there we go. Northumbria, thankfully, taking his time here, buying us more time. To be fair, we put a lot of damage into these forces that were attacking this front. Like Nico and myself, I felt like we got a lot of kills here. But yeah, they're pushing hard in the streets. They're using their archers. I'm using my archers to try to silence them. His archers are trying to soften the troops on the beach. Nice little flank there by the sword herdmen. When I saw this, again, this was a naval force that was dropped off right here. We have nothing for it except for some archers. When I saw that, I thought it was game over. There's no way. I mean, they were going to be able to break through the streets and get behind us and crush our forces. Also, guys, at the same time, look at this. We've just defeated their feared spearmen. Over here, they've got their elite units moving up. They've got the sword herdmen, and they have some shield biters. 2 against 1. And those 2 units are very deadly. So it would be a waste of a unit to leave this unit here to defend against 2, because obviously he'll get outflanked. So at this point, I decide, okay, I've got to fall back these units. I can't hold here against 2 elite units. And it's probably best I use this unit elsewhere, like at the beaches. But you can see that, I mean, this is why I love these, like, port attacks. Because it makes the battle so much more dynamic and so interesting. The fact that they have troops in our inner, like, settlement, but we're also still fighting for, like, near the outer walls. It's just really cool. It brings a lot of different strategy to the siege battles. Yeah, I've got some troops breaking. Where is that? Oh, it's just archers. They're getting focused down by enemy archers. That's okay. General over here. Got to get him in shield wall. Royal companions. But there we go. I thankfully get a unit of Earls to form up a shield wall. I'm going to form, like I said, a shield wall and defend this flank. And I will be ready for anything they throw at me. I've got to form shield wall, though, because those arrows, man. They're chewing me up. I gotta protect my men. And yeah, so we're still, I think the juiciest parts is on the beach right here. He's overwhelming us on this flank. It's not looking good. Not looking good. We've got some of my archers. I'm now trying, because I realized instead of focusing my archers at the other army that's like over here, I realized that this is more important of a fight, and I've got to kill these men here. If we want any chance of winning this battle, we want any chance of recovering our troops and getting them to the final stand, we've got to hurry up and defeat these troops here on the beach before these reinforcements arrive. Look at, they are coming. They are coming quickly. Is this cav right here? Yes, they got their cav too. That's another issue. They could easily run through the gate. I don't know why they're not rushing their cav through the gate right now. I think they should, and they could get some good hammer and anvil, but thankfully they're not. Now this was the unit that was defending the gate over on that side. Now they have an opportunity to defeat these forces on the beach very quickly. I'm going to try to get behind their troops and cause some shock to their morale by, you know, doing a hammer and anvil with the infantry. There we go. There we go. Come on, break these guys. Oh, and this is just a race. It's just like, okay, we've got to defeat this beach force before reinforcements arrive, and we are surrounded here, and we get, you know, surrounded by the other forces attacking the walls. We've got to quickly get these troops out of here to safety and get them ready for the final stand. This force is still waiting over here, which is great, though I don't think it would be wise of them to push forward right now because they are so depleted and so like thinned out. So they should probably wait anyways. We are winning here, which is great. The sword herdmen are losing to my mailed thanes. So they just need to break quicker. There we go. They're breaking over here now. We've got this unit completely surrounded. But the enemy has decided to charge in his cav. I have to peel one of my units away from this fight and face the cav. And that actually scared the cav. Did you see that? How they stopped in their tracks there. And I'm getting a decent amount of kills. It doesn't matter. I don't need to kill them. I just need to scare them off as we kill this unit. This unit will break any moment now. Look at them. They're surrounded. Well, let's get a bird's eye view of this fight. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and start shifting this unit over to this side because we need to win over here quickly. We have plenty of troops killing this one. Oh, man. Nice little cav charge. Oh, that hurts. I'm just trying to protect the men. And there we go. I have to peel another unit over here. We've got to kill this cav. He's doing exactly what he wants to do is slow us down. He doesn't want to let us retreat to the final stand because he knows if our troops get to the final stand, it's going to be much more difficult to defeat us because we have a much smaller area to defend. We don't need as much manpower against theirs. There we go. We break them. Now this is the mad dash. This is the run. The running for our lives to get out of here, get away from the beaches, and get to this safety point here. They've got a long distance to go, and I can't believe they're not sending these troops over to the beach to help fight this area over here. I'm really shocked by that. And Brunswick makes a sacrifice here with this long axeman going after the sword herdmen to stop them in their tracks, slowing down the enemy to buy more time for, I would say, more important units because these are shielded units which will perform much better in choke point situations compared to axemen. But, you know, we will remember these long axemen as they make the brave sacrifice to hold back the enemy to buy time for our retreat. Cav once again slowing down my forces, but I kind of have to stand my ground and fight them so they don't keep harassing me. There we go. We're rushing through the breach. My troops break the forces here, which is great. Brunswick defeats the forces here, and now we gotta try to quickly get them over here. And now this army moves over to the beach. They're setting in their cav as well, and this is huge for them. I mean, this is... I would be going full speed ahead, stopping these forces from being able to get to the choke point. And it seems like that's what they're doing here. Now I gotta turn my unit around, and now I have to sacrifice a unit. Yes, this is... I mean, we can't sacrifice too many more units or we'll have no units left. But I have to. I had to send something back there. I still have 3 units, and then Brunswick is a unit, so it's still 4 units here. And look at this, he's even throwing his armored archers at us to slow us down. I can't believe it. Look at this. These men, they know that all that stands between them and the safety of that town center is some archers. They are more than happy to cut these guys down. There they go. Push. So, okay, this is kind of cool. Out of respect of this unit who's holding and fighting to the death, they got outflanked by some cav. So, just for them, I sent back another unit to kill this cav. Now, this unit isn't going to stay here long. They're just here to get this cav off their backs, off the backs of the brave souls who are making the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good. I'm just showing them a little love. You know, I'm like, you know what? No. Let these troops at least fight here without getting harassed in the rear. And I am going to... There we go. I'm going to break them there. And then I'm going to send them back. Yeah. I'm like, all right, keep fighting, man. Godspeed. Keep doing God's work. There you go. So, yeah. Look, they're cheering. They're like, thank you. Huzzah, we'll fight to the death. Bless you. Bless you. Yeah, so we're holding them back. And I'm able to, well, obviously we slaughtered these archers. And this is a moment where we're kind of relieved here. Not completely, because look at the balance of power. It's still anyone's game. But we're feeling a little bit better. The fact that we got most of our units from the beach safely over to the last stand. And here comes the push from Northumbria. They are now committing their forces. Hold. Not too worried about this force. They are pretty depleted, but if we can kill them quickly, that's key. There we go. So now we got more and more good infantry in this final location. We have to hold 3 choke points here. That's it. I'm now also sending this unit. They're very tired, and they've killed 118 men so far. But they've got to keep going, and they're exhausted. It sucks to have a push. It sucks that you have to push a unit so far. But if we're gonna win this fight, we got to do stuff like this. And I saw an opportunity to flank around these guys to quickly break them. So then we can quickly break them and then reorganize our forces here before the rest of the army arrives. Which they've got plenty of troops here that could do a lot of damage. So here we go. These poor Thanes, man. 118 men they've killed. Now they're gonna kill some more. Look how tired they are, though. But they find their strength right at the last second. And now we have their general surrounded. Look at that. And the men up here are cheering. They're like, huzzah! We have them surrounded. So now they've got 122 kills. This unit right here, 97 kills. Let's see, let's look at the other units I have alive. This sword unit has 100 kills. So it seems like all of my units that are alive, 206 kills, these men. God, form shield wall, please. And rest up. You guys are tired. My general, I think, has 10 kills. Okay. But he hasn't really seen any action yet. There we go. We break one of the units, and now he's just down to a general. I'm sensing a death of a general here. Pretty soon. There we go. And we're pushing hard. Pushing hard to quickly break them before these reinforcements arrive. Sword. Let's see. What do they got? Sword Herser? I don't know how to pronounce that one. Let's see. Oh, they got Berserkers. Sword Herdman. More Cav. Thane. No, those are shield biters. More Berserkers. Oh, God. So they got some really quality troops, and I've got to hurry up and break these guys because I don't want these Thanes to be outflanked and sandwiched between the general and their reinforcements. And he's breaking, though. It's so close, but this damn general will not break. And there we go. He breaks, and we're freaking out. We're like, okay, reform. Reform. And I'm going to get my troops out of that fight and falling back over to the inner part of the settlement. Here comes another charge from the enemy. They're charging in Berserkers now into my shield wall. Hold them back, damn you. This is awesome.
The enemy general is dead.
Enemy general is dead. That's the one we surrounded. And here comes the next wave. Here comes the next wave. I'm trying to disperse my units so they're not so clumped up. I realized that he's dedicated most of his berserkers over to this front. So I'm now sending over reinforcements there. This is my... I feel so bad for these men. This is my exhausted swordsman who flanked around the general. Now they've got to charge over to the front line. They have 146 kills now. And there's 91 left of them. They've got a silver chevron, but they've got to go to another flank. But I'm not going to send them right in to battle. I'm going to have them kind of in the rear, and they're going to form a shield wall. So it will give them a time to rest, but it won't be that long until the enemy, the berserkers, cut their way through my troops. I got another unit over here, the unit that has 206. Again, I'm gonna form shield wall up on top of this hill. So I'm just really stacking up here and just telling the enemy, basically showing the enemy that we're gonna fight these guys. We're not gonna let them so easily push through. Look at that though, that looks really cool. All these defenders. God, that looks awesome. So yeah, that's a cool fight right there. There we go, we're pushing hard over here. Oh, it's a tough fight. It is a tough fight against these Vikings. Same thing over here. We got a battle. So they're pushing us on all fronts. They're trying to destroy the barricade. But we're holding them back with some Thanes. See, we got the general now. Royal companions holding. It's not my general. Now I'm charging my general over this way because look at this. There's a gap. So I've got to quickly close this gap in case they send up reinforcements to try to surround us. But once again, we're pushing really hard and causing these men to break. I've got some Earl Thanes here who have gotten 171 kills. My swordsmen are racking up kills and showing no mercy. Deus Volt. Here we go. Even more forces coming around this way. And this is the biggest part of the battle here. Right here. God, this looks so awesome too. Look at all these men. The angle of the hill, you get to see all of them. A lot of fancy beards and mustaches here. There they go. Look at that, man. That's so cool. Just trying to get a cool angle here. Look at that. Ugh, it's a good fight. I'm feeling confident. Feeling confident. The balance of power still dead even. This is still a gruesome fight. Nobody has taken the edge here just yet. If we can kill the berserkers, I'd feel a lot better. Lots of breaking going on here. To be fair, though, these are just archers that used up all their ammo. And thank God they used up all their ammo, because I don't think we could take any more bombardment from archers. It's a very, very tough fight there. Causing some breakage here. Archer fire focusing down. This was really sneaky by Mr. Brunswick. He actually has a couple archers here. I think one archer that still has ammo. He was saving the ammo for the enemy general. And now he's sending him the gift of arrows here. Coming down on the general. Fantastic. Really wise decision. I mean, that takes patience to hold ammo like that, because there's times during the battle where you're just like, oh my god, I want to fire back at them, but he held on to that ammo, and it's paying off, and especially in this big blob. There we go, shield wall again. Look at that, with the banner right there. Oh my god, that's awesome. That's really cool. Oh, did the banner fall? Oh no, the guy holding the banner is just kneeling. Now Cav is charging in. The reason he's charging Cav in here is because they have nothing else to attack this flank. And if they have nothing else, that means we can flank around here and surround the troops who are pushing right here. The balance of power is now in our favor. Things are looking up for this defense. We might just be able to take this one. We got more troops coming around this way. We have 2 generals fighting side by side against the enemy here. Ugh. See how my troops are holding here. Okay, they're fresh now. Thank God. They have 153 kills now. And the other unit is fresh as well. So that's why it's really important to not just pile up troops into the fight. Let them sit back a little bit, recover their, get their fatigue or, not be fatigued. And now they're fresh and able to fight all these exhausted Vikings who have been fighting up this hill the whole time. And there we go, guys. The flank has been broken through. We don't have to defend here anymore. And my general is leading the charge. And he's gonna surround these Vikings. And hopefully this is the nail in the coffin. Now that we have his troops surrounded, they have nowhere else to go. Here we go. Let's see if they peel a unit off to hold me back. No, not yet. And right at the last second, they charge in some berserkers. But we have them surrounded. Even Mr. Brunswick has some thanes here, just kind of sitting here in reserve. 192 kills with these guys. Let's see how well these berserkers are doing. Oof, God, the berserkers 169 kills. Can't believe 169 of my men. More berserkers 143, and their general getting 60 kills. So they're definitely racking up a lot of kills with these really elite units, but now that they're surrounded, it's like declawing a lion, so to speak. It's not going to be as dangerous. I mean, they still have their teeth, I suppose, but they don't have their claws. What kind of analogies am I making here? I don't know, but I hope you're enjoying it. But yeah, we've got him surrounded, and there's probably no way he's going to be able to fight his way through this one. Look at the men on the top. They're cheering. They're like, yes! Huzzah! Huzzah! They realize the enemy has nowhere to go, and that this battle is pretty much over. The troops here are going to be wiped out. And there we go. The general is breaking. That's a great sight. If he breaks, these berserkers will surely break. Charge them! So, while this is going on, I just want to say that this was streamed on my Facebook, and all the players here are my subs who joined my Discord. If you guys want to join me in these battles, which, I mean, they've been fantastic since I've been streaming and just letting you guys know when I'm streaming and just having you guys take part in these battles. They have been absolutely fantastic. And you guys, all you have to do is join my Discord, wait in the stream waiting lobby, and I'll try to get as many people in as possible. Now, it's gotten more and more popular, so which is a good thing, which is like tons of people are joining. So it is getting harder and harder to get people in because there's so many people. Maybe we'll play some other games that are more multiplayer, like mass multiplayer, like Cold Fast or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of different options and opportunity, guys. Check out the links down below to the Facebook and Discord links where you can watch the stream and also join in the battles. So let's go ahead and end the replay. So, yeah, I ended up with the most kills. I was actually quite surprised by that because my spearmen did so poorly. But it was my swords that just slaughtered people. 265 was the highest for my swordsman here, which is great. My general also getting 128, and he only really saw the last couple minutes of the fight, which is crazy. Cav also did really well, 113. I will take it. So here's Nico. He actually got the least amount of kills. He had a tough time. He had a tough flank to defend. But some of his swordsmen getting 100 kills there. It was just tough for him. I think he did great. And I don't think having the most kills means you did the best by any means. Again, like, just because you don't have the most, or even if you have the least amount of kills, doesn't mean that what you did was super important. Just want to make that clear. And then Brunswick here getting 1,300 kills, and his swordsman doing very well as well. So we look at the enemy here. We have Akul. I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering your name, but he got 14 kills. So who did the best here? Looks like some archers, a lot of his swordsmen doing pretty well. Then we have Bob. Bob doing a lot of kills with his swordsmen. Again, swordsmen are just so strong in this game. The archer's not really doing a ton here. And then we have Voice Maker, who got, again, a lot of kills with the berserkers. Lots of kills with the berserkers. Swordsmen doing decent. Archers actually doing pretty well compared to the other archers. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up, guys, for today's battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as yesterday's battle. Both very exciting and very fun to play. Again, you can join me in these battles by joining my Discord, linked down below. Also, join my Facebook page. That's where I stream, and that's where you can watch me play these battles live. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time on the battlefield.